Look, football's nothing without the fans.
We'll be fighting all game to the end whistle and hopefully bring that trophy back home.
Money FM 89.3. It's time for Sports Minutes with me, Ziaul Raushan. The domestic football season resumes in a big way on the 10th of January with the Singapore Cup final showdown between the Lion City Sailors and BG Tampines Rovers happening at Jalan Besar Stadium. A repeat of last season's final and frankly a rivalry between two of the best teams in the land. One that's seen its fair share of drama over the years, from touchline scuffles to tempers boiling over on the pitch. And ahead of the season's first showpiece event, Sports Minutes is conducting a pre-match press conference of sorts, because joining me on the show today are players from both camps. In the blue and white corner, representing the Lion City Sailors, it's Bailey Wright. And in the yellow and black corner, representing BG Tampines Rovers, it's Trent Buhagiar. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Great to be in your company. Bailey, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Good to have you with us. Trent, you doing okay?
Yes, also good as well. Very good.
Fantastic. Plenty to get stuck into ahead of the Cup final. But first, in preparation for this, I realised both of you have Australia in common. Can we just clear the air? Do you guys know each other prior to playing in Singapore, Bailey?
No. Obviously, I know who Trent is, and I've seen him play many times in the A-League and throughout his career, but this is the first time our paths have really crossed.
And Trent, I'm sure plenty people know of you now in terms of the start you've made to life at BG Tampines Rovers, but did you know Bailey coming to Singapore?
Yeah, obviously I heard of him coming to Singapore and playing for Sailors as well, and he's had a great career, and it's good to see him here as well and play against him.
Yeah, and this Saturday is going to be quite exciting, putting that friendship rivalry to the test. Before we talk about Saturday's final, Bailey, I'd love to hear your thoughts on a certain Maxime Lestien who departed the club not so long ago. His legacy, your friendship with him?
Yeah, obviously, if you look at Max as a player and obviously as a person as well, but from a player and what he's done for the football club, for Singapore football, his numbers are incredible with goals and assists, and I think when a player like that comes to the league and produces and performs, he's always going to be remembered probably as one of the best ever, and I had the pleasure of having him on my team and not having to play against him other than just in training. So obviously big shoes to fill there. He's done a lot for us for a football club, and we wish him and his family all the best in their new journey back home. I think there's no place like home, and the timing was right for him and all of them, and completely respect that. And like I said, loved my time playing football with him off the pitch as well. We had some great times, a special season last season, and I'm sure he's happy doing what he's doing now.
You talk about off the pitch and having a relationship with him. I'm wondering, I get the numbers, goals, assists, right, on the pitch, but off the pitch, how difficult is it to replace such a big character like Max?
Yeah, I think football's always moving, and it's always difficult to replace and recruit the right people and right players. And, Max always produced. He was always the player we could rely on, someone who could make something from nothing, win us games from nothing. And off the pitch was a good character to have around with the experiences he's had throughout his career. So it's always difficult, of course, but we have to move on. We have to keep building, and, we've got a new signing that's come in, and it looks real quality and a really good person as well. So excited to see how we keep moving as a club and progressing forward. But of course, always difficult to replace someone like Max.
Let's quickly touch on that new signing before I bring Trent into the conversation. That new signing from Bangkok United. Ken, don't worry. Luca, talk to me about Luca and the impact he's going to have on this team.
Yeah, well, obviously we've already played against him this year, or this football year, and he scored a really good goal against us. One I was a bit annoyed about when I tried to stop, but you could see his quality, and you can certainly see his quality already in training, and it's always nice to bring in players with that creativity and that bit of magic. And so far from what I've seen as a person and how he works, seems like he's going to suit the group and the club really well. So, of course, sometimes it might take a little bit to settle here in Singapore, it might not. But excited to see what he brings to our team, and obviously wish him all the best with his career with us.
And for the fans listening in, do they catch a glimpse of Luca on Saturday?
Yeah, well, I think he's available, he's fit. Obviously I'm not sure how much game time he'd been getting recently in Bangkok, but you can see he looks completely ready to go and is a really good footballer. So let's see.
Speaking of game time, Trent, time to come to you. You've been getting plenty of game time and you've been making big impact. How much have you enjoyed your introduction to Singapore football?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. On the pitch and outside the pitch, I think it's a really nice country, and us as a team at Tampines, we're doing really well in the ACL and Shopee and the league as well. So I think not just me, but everyone's been making an impact on the team, and we're been raring to go this season, and we're only halfway through, so we still got a lot of games to go, and we're looking forward to it.
And Trent, what's helped you settle in as well as you have? Is it the club? Is it just you being adaptable?
I think it's a bit of everything. Obviously, coming here, there's another Aussie in the team, Dylan Fox, which has helped me a lot. It's not many teams you go to in Asia or across the world where there's another Australian in the team. So I think at the start he helped me adapt a lot, and also that everyone's so nice at the club and everyone's so nice in Singapore. So it's really easy to adapt to, and you can see the way that we play as a team. We defend as a team, go forward as a team. So I think everyone's been very adaptable this season, and we've been very good.
I think plenty of people have taken notice of how much BG Tampines Rovers have improved in this iteration with you in the team, right? What is that down to? Momentum or a real belief within the team?
Yeah, I think it is a real belief in the team. I think at the start, especially in the Champions League, everyone wrote us off. No one thought we were going to make it through to the next stage, and we proved all of them wrong. And we've shown every game, even against Pohang, against all the strong teams, that we're able to fight against these teams and do well against them. So I think there's a massive belief within the group now. If there wasn't before, there definitely is now. We're just raring to go.
You talk about beating big teams. There's a team waiting for you at Jalan Besar on the 10th of January. Bailey, coming to you. We talked about Tampines flying. A bit of a mixed bag for the Sailors so far this season. Domestically, you guys are defending that title quite well. But on the continent, it's been slightly difficult. Was it always going to be that way, considering how well you guys did last year?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily agree that it's a mixed bag. I think like any team, when you've had a successful season and kind of won everything, the hardest thing in football is to go and do it again and maintain those standards. And we really are pushing ourselves as a group, as a football club, to maintain those standards that we've set so high. But football in Asia is getting stronger. And obviously the Champions League campaign didn't go, I guess, the way we wanted to go. We wanted to progress and get through, but we finished on the same points as we did last year. So, from that point of view, maybe if it had been a different group, we might have got through. But this is football, we were pushing where we have high expectations, high standards, and we want to keep winning and achieving things. So, yes, that was disappointing, but there was a lot of positives to take, and the Shopee Cup is still ongoing, and we still have real belief that we can go and do something there. So this is what you play football for, Last year we completely exceeded expectations, which has raised the bar so much higher for us this year. And I think what's important as well, these guys having a really good season, doing so well in the Champions League, Shopee Cup, has also shown that Singapore football is also growing. There's good teams here, good signings coming in. So I think everything's working together to have a real positive impact for Singapore football, and to be part of that last year and again this year is what you want to be part of. So I like that pressure, the expectation of us as a football club externally, but also internally we've set high standards. So I guess from that point of view, we've not got through like we did last year in the Champions League, but there's still so much now to look forward to. Obviously, a massive game this weekend that we won last year and we want to get our hands on it again. But like I said, football here is getting stronger. Football in Asia is getting stronger, and it's a good time to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right to talk about the cup final being a chance to right the wrongs of how the ACL2 campaign went, perhaps. Before we talk about the cup final, which I promise we will, Trent, I want to come to you. When you signed for the club, right, it's come to my attention that you were a signing made by the previous management. So you sort of arrived and suddenly everything's changed. New chairman, new coach. How did you feel at that point?
Yeah, obviously I spoke to Gavin on the phone, which was the previous coach, originally before I signed, and I always had a good conversation with him, and I was willing to come in and play under him. But then I just seen online on Instagram on the Tampines page, and I seen that they signed a new coach, and so I was rung my agent who helped me get in. I was like, what's going on here, and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't really make a difference. You come to the team, you want to do well, no matter who's in charge. Obviously you're going to work with whoever's in charge. And Akbar was really, really nice when I came in. He's a really good guy and a good coach as well, who's had a good career. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks in, he moves on, and then Coach No comes in. So I think you got to adapt a lot in football. Teams are changing, coaches are changing all the time. But obviously. It's different, but it's fine. All the team come together. We had a chat. Just stay together, stay strong, and it doesn't really matter who's in charge. We got to play under them, play under their philosophy, and I think we've adapted well as a team. And
I'm glad you brought yourself to the Noor Rahman appointment. Might have been awkward for me to bring up the way Akbar left as well. Let me ask you this about Noor Rahman. It seems like there was no change. I mean, from the outside, obviously the coach has changed, but he's just come in and picked up where you guys were at that point in the season, started the season strong as well, beat the Sailors 4-1 in the Community Shield. What is it about Noor Rahman that's helped him continue this momentum?
Yeah, I think he's a very calm, collective person, and I think he's kind of similar to what Gavin is. Obviously, he worked under Gavin for a while, so he's got the same kind of principles and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was an easy transition for him. He knows all the players. He was assistant when Akbar was here. So he just took over from there, and I think everyone just kind of went together, and it was an easy transition for everyone,
Yeah, I completely agree. Noor Rahman is like Gavin 2.0 in my opinion. When I listen to some of his pre-match comments, he sounds exactly the same. Bailey, coming to you, about 18 months in Singapore now. You enjoying this Singapore sojourn you're having?
Yeah, do you know what? It's been incredible. From a football perspective, I've absolutely loved it. Being part of this football club and the game here has exceeded my expectations, if I'm being completely honest. I guess when you come to a new league in a new country, you're coming into the unknown, and different cultures, different styles of play, everything. But I've absolutely loved it, and my wife and kids love it here in Singapore. We knew Singapore was a great country and a great place to live, but once you come here, and especially with a young family as well, you understand how clean and safe and efficient and friendly everyone is, and to settle here was pretty easy for us as a family, which has helped with the footballing side of things too. So exceeded expectations, and I've just grateful that I've had the opportunity and I'm here enjoying my football and life.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about exceeding expectations, Singapore for you, right? My observation is you've exceeded expectations as well. I mean, you arrived with great pedigree. I had the privilege of speaking to you when you first signed for the club. But now you're a real leader in that group. Every sailor who sat on that seat before tells me Bailey's a big influence. Bailey is my go-to in the dressing room. How much of that growth have you enjoyed over the past 18 months being a leader?
Yeah, I guess I've always kind of taken up responsibility with wherever I've played football. It's kind of something that sort of happens natural to me. I like helping, I like leading, I like responsibility and helping others and winning. I've got to thank a lot of good people in the dressing room and the football club that have also helped me, a massive part along the way. Obviously, Harris is an incredible captain and someone who's been great to learn off as well, and we bounce things off each other quite a lot. But I think just having great teammates that give each other energy and give each other belief is, it's a two-way thing. So, I guess I come here to Singapore and wanted to enjoy my football and win and be part of something great, and everything else is sort of an added bonus. So, to be given responsibility, and at times where the armband when Harris doesn't play is always an honour and something pretty special. And even if I didn't have it, it's not going to change who I am. I am who I am, and that's just my character.
That's the benefit of signing ex-internationals. We'll talk about Australia in a short while, but speaking of ex-internationals, Trent, coming to you. BG Tampines Rovers have signed an ex-Japanese international, Yuki Kobayashi. Talk to the fans, tell them what you've seen in training so far. What can we expect from this player?
Yeah, to be honest, he's looking really good. He's been in training since we come back from the break, and we played a trial game the other day. And he's looking really sharp, looks good on the ball. And obviously with a kind of career that he's had, you expect nothing less, which is good. And it's good that we can sign these high quality players to come to this league and show everyone what he's got.
Trent, can I ask you this? The Japanese route, right, is a tried and tested route that we've seen Albrechts dominate the Singapore football landscape for a long while. It seems like BG Tampines Rovers are embarking on that sort of way as well, right? How impactful is having that Japanese contingent for you as a player, and do they sort of understand each other better on the pitch and that translate to better results?
Yeah, possibly. I think all of them have been good, really good this season. It's we do have a lot. I think we got seven Japanese players now. So obviously they get along with each other really well, and obviously they know on the pitch what they want to do and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's been really good for us. Obviously, it helps having a Japanese chairman as well that's been able to bring them all in. And I think they've improved our squad, and we've been able to play the kind of football that we've been playing because of them. And yeah.
So any other new signings might be Japanese as well? It'd be amiss of me not to ask.
I'm not sure, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
We'll talk about international football for a short while. And Bailey, I want to talk to you about this. Officially, right, you're still in the running for a call-up for the Australia national team. Do you see that happening? Are you having conversations that we should know about in terms of, is that still an ambition for you?
Yeah, look, I haven't played for the national team for quite a while now, well, since I've been in Singapore. I'm the kind of person, I'll probably never retire internationally, because if I was to ever get that call again and was asked to come and represent my country, I would snap your hand off. I'd always, it's a special feeling any moment you get to represent your country, and whilst I'm still playing football, I'll never give that up. But at the same time, I understand there's a lot of players ahead of me who are playing in really good leagues and are good players. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I expect and think I should get called up and things like this, because I'm also not naive. I know that they have a strong squad, some really good players that have qualified for another World Cup. And, when I'm not there, I'm also the Socceroos' biggest fan. I love to see them do well, keep creating history for Australian football. Would I love to be part of that again? Of course. You never know what happens in football. A few years ago, never expected that I'd be playing football in Singapore and be loving it so much like I do. So you never know what's around the corner. That's just how I go about my football and my life. So, yeah, I would never rule it out, certainly. I'll always put my hand up and will always be available. But at the same time, there's been no communication there and no contact. But like I said, football can change like that. So you just never know.
Absolutely. I hear what you're saying about playing for Australia. Can we quickly touch on playing in Australia? Because that's something that's not exactly on your CV just yet, right? And I'm sure as an Australian, that's on the bucket list.
Yeah, look, I left Australia when I was 16. I think it was around that time that the A-League had sort of just started sort of reserves and youth teams. We didn't have that infrastructure in football back then, so I never played for an A-League. I played for Melbourne Victory, actually, in a pre-season friendly game when I was like 14, 15. So it's a long time ago, yeah. Or maybe, I think I was that old. Show my age now. I'd never rule it out. At the moment, the current time, I'm loving my football here with the football club, enjoying the project and being part of everything here. And we'll see what the future holds. At the moment, I'm really happy here, and yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
And I'm pretty sure the Sailors fans listening in want you to stay here for as long as you can, right? Trent, coming to you, I can't remember the last time we had a full European international play in Singapore. Yet here you are representing Malta. You've clocked up the miles in the recent international window as well. How's that going, and how do you juggle the miles as well as playing in Singapore but competing at that level?
Yeah, it was a tough trip. I think it was 16 hours there and 16 hours back as well. So, yeah, it's quite a long trip, but it's all worth it in the end. We in the World Cup qualifiers, we got to verse some unbelievable teams like Poland and Netherlands as well, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good experience. Obviously, I only got to make one appearance in that campaign, but I was happy to be there, happy to help with the squad. We played against Finland, we beat them 1-0 away in Finland. So I think that was just amazing to be part of as well. And I'm grateful to get that call up last window. And obviously in March we have another window, and hopefully get the call up for that for the Nations League qualifiers to get up in the next group. So but I just got to focus on myself here and keep doing well here, and then hopefully that call up comes.
Selfishly, from a Singapore football perspective, right, have your teammates wondered why you're playing in this obscure Southeast Asian country?
No, not really. Not many players question why I'm here, but everyone's got their reasons. I wasn't doing too well last season, not much game time and all that kind of stuff. So I thought Singapore would have been a good move for me to get back on my feet, and hopefully can continue the season I'm having. And
Any chance Agent Trent in action, bringing a few more Maltese players into our league, perhaps?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it's hard for them to move over to Asia, being so far away. I think they all prefer to stay in Europe and stay there and do well there.
And I speak for the BG Tampines fans when they say they want you to stay here for as long as you can because you've lit it up. Speaking of which, time to set the scene for Saturday's match. Bailey, coming to you first. In the build-up to a cup final like this, right? Is training and preparation slightly different, or is it same old, same old?
Look, obviously there was a break now, so everyone's had a bit of a break and recharged their batteries ready for a second half of the season. And of course, preparation's probably pretty similar to most of our games. We have a lot of respect for all the opposition we play, and these guys are obviously a really strong team and doing well this season. And a bit of revenge for the Community Shield is certainly something we're looking for too. Our preparations for every game are pretty much the same. When it's a cup final, there's a little bit of, added belief, added expectation on things like that, added motivation. That's natural, I think, for both sides. So, it's one we're looking forward to. It's an exciting first game back for the second half of the season, and it should be a good one.
I'll touch on the topic of revenge in a short while, but because I mentioned this is a pre-match press conference of sort, I have to ask, clean bill of health for most players going into Saturday?
Yeah, look, everyone looks good, fit, healthy, training, and recharged from a little small break, so it's important.
And Trent, coming to you, Bailey brought up the word revenge. The last time you played the Lion City Sailors with a trophy on the line, you made your debut in Singapore football, you scored 2 goals, you lifted the trophy, you were man of the match. All quite easy, more of the same this Saturday?
Hopefully more of the same, but obviously it's very different than last game. It's, 4 or 5 months ago, so it's obviously a very different Sailors team, and then it's probably a different Tampines team as well since that game. But, we'll prepare well for the rest of this week and be ready to go for the weekend.
And Bailey, bringing back to that point about revenge, right? When you played them in the Community Shield, they were sort of an unknown entity. No more Gavin, Akbar was at the helm. Now there's more evidence. There's more footage to trawl through and find out what this BG Tampines Rovers team are about. Has that been a focus in this week? Yeah,
I think, I guess when you start off a new campaign, and obviously, I guess I'll highlight again the strength of the league and also the addition of a lot of strong foreign players again, which I feel has grown the league again this year. So there's the unknown of how a team's going to play, new manager, what the new signings will be like. Will they hit the ground running like this guy did, literally?
Literally running.
So again, that's the same for them with us. They obviously we didn't have as many changes with our squad. Obviously changed a little bit, but coach and everything was the same and everything. So everyone's got that little bit of you're kind of guessing and looking to see what everyone's going to be about this season. So again, this is a different game. We're into the rhythm. Both teams into the rhythm more now. But obviously, 2 good teams that will be going at it who both want to lift the trophy.
And Trent, I want to ask you this. We spoke earlier about the momentum, the trajectory BG Tampines Rovers are on, right? But this Saturday, it's a tangible marker against your biggest domestic rival. Is that important? Has that figured in the talk leading up to the cup final?
Yeah, of course. It's always a game you want to come to and win. And obviously against these guys, I know there's been history in recent years, and obviously the talk in our change room is that we want to win. So, yeah, of course, we're not going into the game and focus on other games or anything like that. This is the one game that's in front of us right now, and obviously we want to lift the trophy again, and I think we can do that for all the fans, and yeah.
Bailey, let me ask you this. You touched earlier about how it's good that clubs like BG Tampines Rovers are doing well, are flying sort of, because it means Singapore football is rising, right? But there is a rivalry between the Sailors and the Stags. I see it as an observer. You guys are, as I mentioned in the intro, the two best teams in the land going hammer and tongs, hopefully, right, till the end of the season. Is that rivalry extra motivation to really get one over them?
Yeah, of course. We lifted this trophy last year, and we want to lift it again. We want to prove that we're a strong team and the strongest team here, and to do that, you have to beat your rivals and competitors. So whilst there's a respect there, of course, we're rivals for a reason. We want to beat them every time we get a chance to beat them, and of course, be successful as a football club. That's also our responsibility. So there's no denying that. But like I said, there's respect there, healthy respect. But when we're there to play football, we're there to win for our clubs, and that's all that matters.
And Trent, have you sort of sensed that rivalry in the 4 or 5 months in terms of speaking to fans, understanding why the Sailors are at the perch, and that's the perch you want to try and get to?
Yeah, of course. You see comments online and all that kind of stuff talking about it as well, and you go to the games. Obviously, we've only versed them once this season, but even at that game, you can see all the fans that they get fiery, they get into the game, and they want us to win. So, yeah, obviously, and there's been a history in the last couple of years, and yeah, we're looking forward to this game.
And Trent, he's already mentioned the first time you guys played in the Community Shield, right? You were an unknown entity, you caught people by surprise. I'm guessing you're going to have a bit of a target on your back. Don't give away too much, but how are you going to deal with that?
It's probably, I think the game plan staying the same since every game that we've gone into as a team and individually. So I think that they'll know the way we play by now, but we just got to adapt to the game and how it goes. So yeah, if we see they're doing something different, then obviously we'll have to change it up a bit as well and do something different as well. But we're a very adaptable team, and we're going to see what challenge it brings us.
Bailey, coming to you, you touched on it earlier in terms of having won the cup, looking to defend the cup this time. If I'm correct, this was your first trophy when you arrived in 2023 as well. So essentially you're trying to do a three-peat, right? But it's difficult against an informed BG Tampines Rovers team. What does this cup mean to you, and how much would it mean getting over the line come Saturday?
Yeah, it was my first trophy here in Singapore. I think any trophy you lift is pretty memorable. You remember the game, the people you did it with, and you remember that feeling, and you want to replicate that feeling again and feel that sense of pride and achievement as a team, as a group, as a football club. So, of course, this one's extremely, extremely important for us, as well as is every competition we play in. This is a final in the middle of the season, and again, that's a little bit different, but there's a lot of things that have been slightly different with Singapore football over the years, and I think you just got to embrace it and enjoy that too. It's cool that we can have a big game like this in the middle of the season. And it's a final, so finals it's just about winning the game, and we know that.
This is my final question to the both of you. Similar sort of question. Football is nothing without the fans. This show is nothing without its listeners. So I want you to speak to the individual fans of your clubs, right? We'll start with the team trying to wrestle the trophy away, and that's BG Tampines Rovers. Trent, speak to the BG Tampines Rovers fans who are going to be in attendance at Jalan Besar Stadium. How much does your team want to get over the line and win this trophy for the first time since 2019?
Yeah, of course we want to go out there and win, and we want to see all the fans out there at the stadium supporting us, and even the ones at home watching on the TV or anything they can watch on. We'll be fighting all game. We'll fight to the end whistle, and hopefully we'll bring that trophy back home.
And Bailey, the Sailors fans are all ears.
Yeah, look, football's nothing without the fans, and the energy and vibe that brings to a big game is what makes it feel like a big game. You know, you can play a final and if no one's there, it doesn't really feel like a final. You need the fans from both sides, you know, having that bit of abuse, bit of rivalry there on the pitch, off the pitch, because, you know, Jalan Besar is a great stadium to come and watch football. The pitch is amazing now, especially because it's grass. And I'm sure it's going to be a great game that no one will want to miss. So we need the support. We want everyone behind us, and we're looking forward to it.
Bailey stole all my lines. I basically wanted to tell all the listeners to come out to Jalan Besar Stadium Saturday, 10th of January, the Singapore Cup final happening. Listeners, I hope to see you there. Gentlemen, I'll definitely see you there. All the best. Thank you for joining us on Sports Minutes.
Good, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Money FM 89.3.